It is Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon, broadcasting for the first time in history down in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to everybody listening on News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. We've also got 2 extra listeners out in Ohio today. My niece and nephew, Isaiah and Haley. Those bozos. They're listening to the show as well. They're actually watching it on Fox Nation so they can see just how fat their Uncle Jimmy got over the holidays. Man, the champ has been putting up some numbers.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
I don't know. I've been having a good time, but it's not going to get any better because I am out to Ohio over the Christmas break to hang out with Isaiah and Haley, those bozos, and have some fun and eat some food. And by the time we get back, I will be shopping from the King Kong Bundy collection at Macy's, the George the Animal Steel collection, because the champ, no stranger to the old fork and knife. And I'm trying to hold it together. It's the holiday season, but you know how this works for me, man. I like to use the holidays as an exercise in cheating death. And I don't know if you are given to such proclivities, but I do encourage it. When the new year comes, there is a true sense of renewal that comes from being filled with such a state of self-disgust for all that you have taken in, that you get a clean month of January that helps you create some momentum for the rest of the year. So I do advocate this. Just don't eat the way I do. Like, you know, have you ever gotten so fat you're out of breath reading? Like, that was me after Thanksgiving, and that's nowhere to be. When you're really catching your breath between pages of the book, which, of course, none of you believe, because if you listen to this show, you're like, he doesn't read. Who's he kidding? You were with me on the fat part, but maybe not the rest. But be with me in the next hour as my niece and nephew, Isaiah and Haley, will continue to ride along. And Tyrus, a pro wrestling champion, a co-host of the Gutfeld Show, he will stop by and body slam this notion that Biden is running again in 2024.
This is Fox News Talk.
Headline Rewind.
1972. John Dean.
I guess I'd have to say that it was probably the opening act of one of America's great tragedies.
I always had a hard time dealing with Mother and the little girl that I was to him. To show any kind of vulnerability or insecurity to me was not macho. It was not something that he felt I should see. So our communication was horrible.
We mourn our Israel friends, victims of this brutal assault. The Olympic flag and the flags of all the world fly at half-mast. The greater and the more important the Olympic Games become, the more they are open to commercial, political, and now criminal pressure.
News as it happens, news as it happens.
This is Fox News Talk.
I'm Ashley Dvorkin with the Fox Movie Profile and look at new movies in theaters this week with Fandango's Eric Davis, starting with Marvel's Eternals.
This one brings Marvel's most diverse ensemble cast ever. It's led by Angelina Jolie. You also have Richard Madden, Kumail Nanjiani, Brian Tyree Henry, among others. And it follows a group of immortal beings originally tasked with helping humans evolve after defeating their arch nemesis, the Deviants. But when half the universe returned at the end of Avengers Endgame, so did the Deviants, and now the Eternals must reunite to save the world.
Also in theaters, Spencer, starring Kristen Stewart as Princess Diana.
This film finds Diana on the cusp of ending her marriage to Prince Charles while spending the holidays with the royal family. It's directed by Pablo Larraín, who also did Natalie Portman's Jackie. That one was about American royalty. This one about British royalty.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Jason in the House, the Jason Chaffetz podcast. There is always someone doing something stupid somewhere. Dive deeper than the headlines and the party lines as I take on American life, politics, and entertainment. Join me, Jason Chaffetz, every Wednesday as I shed light on the news and make some predictions along the way. You never know who will drop in. Subscribe now on FoxNewsPodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
Many Americans are wondering how to help storm victims after the weekend's deadly tornadoes.
The need is staggering, with 200 miles of devastation in Kentucky alone. Literally thousands of homes destroyed, thousands more without power. Governor Andy Beshear.
We have opened up our state parks for housing for impacted families.
Governor Beshear looking at 2-week stays. He says if you want to come help, come volunteer at the parks. You can wash dishes and wash clothes. 97 power generating facilities in the state damaged. They need flashlights. Verizon sending in mobile cell phone towers. Many people lost their phones. And for the people who lost loved ones, the governor giving each of the families of the dead $5,000 for funerals, asking funeral servicers not to charge them more. Therese Crowley, Fox News.
A federal judge refuses to throw out a key charge against 2 men accused of obstruction for their part in the Capitol riot. Defense lawyers argue Congress's certification of the electoral results didn't constitute an official proceeding, so the obstruction charge wouldn't apply. The judge says it does. It's a charge many other riot defendants are also facing. Recent heightened tensions in Asia might be winding down a bit.
A little bit of breathing room for a threatened Taiwan. A new Taiwan Defense Ministry assessment finding that a full Chinese invasion of the island, with troops landing and ports and airports seized, would be very difficult to achieve right now. This is due to problems China would have in landing and supplying troops. Beijing's troop transfer capabilities are still not good enough, and Taipei's port defenses are said to be strong. Experts say, though, that China has other means at its disposal of roughing up Taiwan, short of an all-out invasion, including a blockade or targeted missile attacks.
Fox's Greg Palcott in London. Stocks are sliding. The Dow's down 272. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
From the historical audio archives of Fox News Talk.
Legendary tennis champion Arthur Ashe was the first African-American player to compete professionally in tennis. In leading UCLA to the NCAA title in 1965, he created a tennis program for inner cities in 1968 and was the U.S. LTA amateur champ and won the first U.S. Open at Forest Hills, being ranked co-number 1 with Rod Laver in that year.
This is still one of the Grand Slam titles, and now Muscles is the only player who win the Grand Slam this year. After a day of rest yesterday, he was pretty tough today, and I look forward to playing him again because for this year we're all square. I think I beat him about a month and a half ago in Detroit under poor lights. So here's hoping we meet in the final of Forest Hills on my turf. So I'll see you in September.
Stay tuned to hear more history as it unfolds before your ears. It's the audio archives of Fox News Talk.
From everywhere USA, it's Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, here we go. Coming to you live from the greatest country in the world. It is Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon. A man who doesn't want to run for president in 2024. I'd never pass the background check. You know that. Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, absolutely does want to throw her hat in the ring. And we're going to discuss it in this hour with Tyrus, co-host of the Gutfeld Show on Fox News, damn good friend of this program, who will be reacting to a pretty busy media blitz by the People's Pantsuit that found her on TV last week crying as she read what would have been her acceptance speech in 2016.
She is a fraud, a phony, a woman without a moral core, a regular two-faced, mealy-mouthed politician who swings with the wind.
I do like Judge Jeanine. I just wish she didn't hold back so much. But the thing is, when it comes to Hillary Clinton, and I said this, I was on the Faulkner Focus with the great Harris Faulkner last Thursday. I will be on the Outnumbered Couch with the great Harris Faulkner and the mediocre Emily Compagno this Friday. Kennedy will be there. Kayleigh McEnany will be there. And shout out to Emily. She's my great pal. We just take a lot of cheap shots at each other. So if you're hearing for the first time, this wasn't like a Fox guy attacking another Fox person. We're actually good buddies. But me and Hillary Clinton kind of on the outs these days. Okay? She last week began what I consider to be an exercise in image rehabilitation. And what I mean by that is, she ran for president a couple of times and lost. She lost to Trump in 2016 and incredibly lost to Barack Obama in 2008, despite the fact that that guy had no record and had no idea what he was doing.
I don't see you doing any better in the booty department.
But he beat Hillary, mainly because Obama showed a lot more humanity on the campaign trail than Hillary Clinton was ever able to show. And that was one of the biggest critiques of her, even again in 2016, is that she often gets out there and sounds like the robot from Small Wonder. I believe we can have a good life here in America. Donald Trump is going to get us all killed.
This is not okay.
It's not that far off. But the point is, the reason Hillary is making a blitz in the media right now and trying to reclaim some relevance is she sees, when it comes to Joe Biden, when it comes to the Democratic Party in 2024, there is a huge opening.
Tell them like it is.
Okay, no serious person believes Joe Biden is running in 2024. Joe Biden didn't run in 2020. Remember that show they show on cable, Finding Bigfoot? Well, they're out there looking for Bigfoot. They never find him, but I don't know how they've gotten 5 seasons out of a show called Finding Bigfoot without finding Bigfoot. But it's the same thing as Biden. They could have done a show in 2020 called Finding Biden because you never saw him. Oh, I heard a little noise in the woods. Maybe he's doing a rally. Nope, didn't come out of the house. Donald Trump did not lose to Joe Biden in 2020. He very much lost to the media. He very much lost to COVID. And it's funny because looking back now, the real justification for getting Trump out of office was what? Oh, this guy can't handle COVID. Well, Joe Biden inherited not 1, not 2, but 3 vaccines from Donald Trump, and we have more COVID deaths under Joe Biden than we do under Donald Trump.
Come on, man.
No, it's a true story. You come on. But now's no time for that. Hillary Clinton yesterday, in trying to stake out additional turf in a potential 2024 race, and make no mistake about it, this lady really, really wants to be president. And she looks at the data. Okay, here is a poll. It's out today. It's an INI tip poll. Out today. Everybody's talking about it on the Twitter. Okay, as the poll numbers clearly show, Donald Trump's support within the Republican Party is far stronger than Joe Biden's within the Democratic Party. Among Republicans, 60% of Republicans said they wanted Donald Trump to run again for president in 2024. In contrast, just 37% of Democrats want Joe Biden to run again in 3 years.
You've lost your way, brother.
That's what they think. Among independents, 17% expressed support for a Trump run in 2024, compared to just 8% for Joe Biden. So understand, no Democrats want Biden to run. No independents want Biden to run. No Bidens want Biden to run. You look at the guy, he's in his late hundreds. He doesn't know where he is. His wife is on CBS yesterday defending him against claims that he's be talking about is Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton knows that as a Democrat who comes